Anthropic has just announced Claude 3.7 Sonnet and Claude Code. Claude 3.7 Sonnet is their most intelligent model to date, and it's the first hybrid reasoning model on the market. And it can produce both near instance response, or it can produce extended step-by-step thinking. Particularly, it shows strong improvements in coding and front-end web development. On top of the Claude 3.7 model, they are introducing a command line tool for agentic coding, which they're calling Claude Code. Let's first look into Claude 3.7 Sonnet and then move on to Claude Code. In terms of Claude 3.7, it's now available in free, pro, team, and enterprise. It's available across the board as well as on the Anthropic API. It's also available on Amazon Bedrock and Google's Vertex AI. If you want extended thinking, it's not available for free cloud users, but it's available for the paid users. The good news is that 3.7 Sonnet has the same price as its predecessor, which is $3 per million input tokens, or it's $15 per million output tokens. And their reasoning behind this unified model is that humans use a single brain for both quick response and deep reflection. And so they believe that reasoning should be an integral capability of frontier models rather than a separate model entirely. You can still pick when you want the model to answer normally or when you want it to think longer before answering. In the extended thinking mode, it self-reflects before answering, which improves the performance obviously on maths, physics, and instruction following, coding, and many other challenging tasks. And then there's something called the budget, which we can control. You can tell Claude to think for no more than this many tokens. And the third one is the reasoning models have been optimized less for math and computer science competition problems. Instead, they have shifted towards real-world tasks, such as better reflect how business actually uses LLMs. That's more like how you can practically use the model for solving business problems rather than just using the model to address the plain old mundane problems. To back their saying, they're saying that Vessel highlighted Claude's exceptional precision for complex agent workflows, while Replit has successfully deployed Claude to build sophisticated web applications and dashboard from scratch. In Canvas evolutions, Claude consistently produced production-ready code. So that's good enough to be used as a plugin model for solving business problems. Let's look at some of the benchmarking. Claude 3.5 Sonnet now beats DeepSeek R1, and it's way above reaching 70.3 in terms of accuracy in software engineering benchmark. And in terms of agentic tool use, we can see that in the Tau benchmark, again, Claude 3.7 Sonnet is 81.2 compared to Claude 3.5, which was at 71.5. And OpenAI's O1 is just at 73. Similarly, on the Tau benchmark airline, Claude's 3.7 Sonnet is at 58.4, whereas OpenAI's O1 is only at 54. So that was for coding and agent use. But if we look at the general graduate level reasoning or visual reasoning or multilingual reasoning, we can see that it's quite competitive and it's comparable to that of the other competitive models, which is OpenAI's O1 or O3 Mini or DeepSeek R1 or Grok 3. For example, for graduate level reasoning, we can see that Grok 3 is better than Claude 3.7 Sonnet. And even in visual reasoning, we can see that Grok 3 is better. And with high school math and competition, OpenAI O3 Mini is better or Grok 3 is better. So with that overview of the Claude 3.7 Sonnet model, let's move on to Claude Code. And they've got a very interesting demo video, which we will now look into.
So we have a project here. It's a Next.js app. Let's open it up in an instance of Claude Code. Now that we've done this, Claude Code has access to all of the files in this repository. We don't know much about this codebase. It looks like an app for chatting with a customer support agent. Let's get Claude to help explain this codebase to us. Claude starts by reading the higher level files, and then it dives in deeper. Now it's going through all the components in the project. Cool. Here's its final analysis.
So say I was asked to replace this left sidebar with a chat history, and I'm also going to add a new chat button. I'm going to ask Claude to help me out here. We haven't specified any files or paths, and Claude's already finding the right files to update by itself. Claude can also show its thinking, and we can see how it's decided to tackle this problem. Claude's asking me if I want to accept these changes. I'll say yeah. Now Claude's updating the navbar, adding a button and icons as well. Next, it's updating the logic to ensure the saving state works correctly. Here's a summary of what it's done. We're seeing a new chat button and new chat history section on the left. Let's check if I can start a new chat while keeping the previous one saved. I'll try out the new chat button too.
So that was Claude Code. If you're a hardcore developer and love working on the terminal, then Claude Code is definitely for you. You can do everything on the terminal and you have the AI now on the terminal rather than on a user interface or on an API. So they're saying that in the coming weeks, they are planning to continually improve it based on the usage, enhancing tool call reliability, adding support for long-running commands, and improving in-app rendering and expanding Claude's own understanding of its capabilities. And their main goal with Claude Code is to understand how developers use Claude for coding to inform future model improvements. Super. So this is kind of the first version, I would say, to kind of get at a really intelligent Claude Code agent. In terms of looking ahead or what's in store for the future, they're wrapping up with this plot, which is that, they in 2024, they started with Claude Assist, where Claude helps individuals do their current work better, make each person the best version of themselves. And now Claude does hours of independent work for you on par with experts, expanding what every person or team is capable of. And for 2027, their vision is that Claude pioneers. Claude finds breakthrough solutions to challenging problems that would have taken teams years to achieve. So we really can't wait to see what's in store for 2027 in terms of how Claude pioneers the future. That's pretty much the introduction to Claude 3.7 Sonnet and Claude Code. Let me know if you want me to go deep dive into Claude Code, and I will do a separate video on that. Until then, I'm signing off and I will see you in my next video. Take care.